Zoe here. I'm back today with a layout made using my July hip kit, and thank you for joining me. I am so behind as ever. I've just paid for my September hip kit and I'm finally finishing the July one. I should have my killer kit video up in the next few days. This was one of the last layouts I actually made using this kit. So I'm down to the last couple of pieces of paper. I'm just layering my photo on a crepe paper journey sheet and using the October afternoon as my background paper. Yeah, I wasn't really sure where I was going with this kit, this layout. I'm just layering it again onto a scrap there, and it was one of those perfectly serendipitous pieces of paper, if you can have a serendipitous piece of paper, because it perfectly came together to form a mat, which, ta-da! Don't you just love that? Anyway, yeah, I wasn't really sure where I was going with this piece, this layout. I don't tend to think too hard about them, which, may be a bad thing for me. But I tend to just sit down and see what comes to me when I'm sat with all the kit stuff in front of me. So I've decided to add some colour to the background. I'm using peacock feathers distress ink there and using the packaging technique and just smooshing it onto the paper. And I did not add any gesso to my paper, which means the paper does actually warp a little bit, which was a rookie mistake, but there you go. Sometimes these things just go that way, don't they? And I'm going to grab some more distress ink in a second. I'm using my farm animal kitchen paper there just to soak up some of the moisture. I'm taking Mermaid Lagoon distress ink there, and again just doing the same thing. Oh, I think I had some drops actually. I start to drop it on first because I wanted more droplet shapes. And then I add some smushes as well. And again, just soaking up the excess moisture there. I find it's easier than getting out my heat tool, and it causes less warping to the paper. And I decide, because of the warping, that I'm going to actually cut this down and add it to a piece of white cardstock just to give it a bit of stability and remove the warping. Excuse me. I don't think I had enough tape here, really. I'm just smoothing it out to make sure I get rid of as much of the warping as possible there, which I actually do. And I'm just grabbing some wax paper there to start working on my title, because as soon as I know where the title's going to go, then I can start adding embellishments and things around the title. It's always one of the first things I do for some reason. I always like to know where my title's going to go. So I don't have to fight to put my title in afterwards. See, that's one of the flaws of not thinking about what you're doing before you do it. There's some excellent scrappers out there who clearly have really good grasps of design and where things should go on their pages. I do not. I just do whatever comes into my head at the time. And I originally titled it My Little Water Baby and then decided to take the my out because it was mildly selfish, and my husband is a very big part of our lives, so I changed it to Our Little Water Baby. And that's going to be my title, and that's probably where I'm going to put it. And now I'm just checking on the crepe paper chipboard pieces there to find what I think will work well, and I end up going with the diver because I honestly, when I looked at the sheet, I thought I will never use the diver. And also the ice cream van, which I also used, which was strange. Not on this layout, on a different layout. But yeah, I picked the diver because I thought this would be the only time I would get to use it, really. I'm just checking on the sticker sheet here to see if there's anything I want to use there. And I'm using my powder tool just to take the stick off the stickers so that I can move them around without worrying. I'm just trying another one of these stickers, which I take the stick off and then actually I don't end up using that. I'm trying to keep the whole layout in with the teals and aquas. To try and stick in that colour theme. I'm just going through the cards from the Project Life add-on just to see if there's anything in there that I thought might work. And I think about the pink card but realise that I don't actually want to add in a second colour. A second colour? Another colour. I apologise if I'm disjointed. I always have some sort of excuse, but at the moment it's first thing in the morning. I'm just getting this done. But yeah, I'm always kind of disjointed, let's be fair. And just off camera there, I'm actually looking through the die cut pack, the crepe paper die cut pack, which did not come with my kit. It's just I have the die cut pack, so I added it. I got it out to bump up my kit a little bit, but I don't end up using it, and I instead go for a tag. I think that's a Studio Calico tag. And I decided to take the tag for my journaling. But I feel like the white is perhaps a little too white against the layout. And I'm just testing it, finding what I like, seeing if there's any more bits I want to add in there. And again, I end up not using that acetate piece. Lots of faffing. Again, just flipping through all the die cuts and things before deciding that yes, that tag is definitely too white, and I'm going to ink the edges of it with Mermaid Lagoon Distress Ink, which I'm just grabbing. Just inking the edges there. And then I'm going to take a paper towel that I've sprayed with water, and I'm just going to dab the edges of the tag to make the colour bleed onto the tag. It's quite subtle, but it looks really effective. It's not showing up as well on my camera as it is in reality, but I've taken flat shots, and obviously I'll add them to the end anyway, so you'll be able to see them. Moreover, on my blog I'll show the flat shots there too. And I'm just grabbing a ruler to add some lines for my journaling onto the tag. I don't usually use a ruler, I usually go for the sketchy wibbly lines, but I decided I'd like them quite straight this time. I'm just checking the placement of everything again. I'm taking some lawn fawn twine. It's actually a silver threaded twine. My gosh, I am disjointed this morning. My husband has just taken the children out to the park to give me a silent house for an hour so I can get some voiceovers done. And all I want to do is sleep. So instead I'm doing this and just being slightly discombobulated as I do it, so I do apologise. I'm just popping my photo up on some foam tape. I'm starting to layer the embellishments in where I think they ought to go. I'm just chopping this tag to size. Every now and again, the wax paper works perfectly and you can just slip it out from underneath your letters and they all go on at the same time. It's fabulous. Then, as you're about to see in a minute, every now and again you try it and it does not work. And you have to pull it all apart and stick them manually, which is probably what you get for being lazy. Well, this is what I get for being lazy. So I'm just pulling them off and sticking them down. The letters are from the October afternoon alpha packs that were included in the main kit and the Project Life kit, I think. I can't remember which set was from which. I'm just using a blue Sharpie here to add some journaling, which is just explaining a little bit about how my daughter used to be terribly afraid of water and now she would live in there, in the water if we would let her. I'm just using my Chanel roller stamp to add the date there. And some black VersaFine, I think. Using the October afternoon pillow puffs, I think they're called. Pillow something. Oh no, I'm not. I'm sticking the diver down instead. I'm just using Ranger Matte Multimedium there. Because I'm a terribly messy gluer and it dries completely clear and super strong. So that's why I use that. And just adding the pillow puff fish, because again I wasn't sure where I was going to use those. So I decided this was the perfect time to use them. I'm debating the sticker, but again I didn't want to add any yellow in. I'm just going through my tiny word packs. That tiny word sticker sheet was almost gone, so I went to pick up another one because I have several thousand of them. I'm just adding in some tiny word stickers there. Again, checking the chipboard before going with the enamel dots. I'm just placing those. I realise these top ones actually look like fish bubbles, which then the bottom one actually looks like the fish is breaking wind, which I did not realise until I was watching this. I'm just grabbing some enamel dots here. I want to use the white ones. I got these enamel dots from Bright Ray of Sunlight. If you need some enamel dots, I do urge you to check those out. They are absolutely awesome and priced so reasonably. I'll include a link to where I bought those below. Oh gosh, now I can't get out of my head that that fish looks like it's breaking wind. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh my goodness me. What a tooting fish on my layout. Oh my gosh. I am so silly. Anyway, I'm just adding another sticker here, and I think that's about it. I think that's all I do to it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll include everything down below and over on my blog.